Okay, Bhaskar, we can start when people will join in, right?
Okay.
Should we start? Okay,
Yeah.
because we should not be losing time. Right? Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the web session about talking agri-credit problems with the FPOs. I'm Avni Goiporia from the Agri Collaboratory, and we have with us our co-founders Nipun Mehrotra and Ashutosh Vaidya, and others from the Agri Collaboratory. Today, we have amongst us diverse group of FPOs from various states. For the sake of convenience, we will use English as our communication language. As a set rule, we have muted mics for all participants. If in any case, if anybody wants to ask a question other than the participant FPOs, just keep it for the end. We will have a Q&A session. Also, this session is being recorded. And now I'll hand it over to today's moderator, RM Bhaskar, who has written 2 books on FPO. The first covering its formation and sustainability, and the other one is on FPO finance and marketing. Over to you, Bhaskar.
Yeah, thank you all for attending this FPO workshops. Our special gratitude to Mr. Pravesh Sharma, NAFPO chairman, a person who has been major force in FPO movement in India. Would like to extend our sincere thanks to Madam Anisha Bali for her support in coordinating with the FPOs. I would like to invite Mr. Nipun, a co-founder of Agri Collaboratory, to share his vision and dreams. Nipun worked for IBM for about 26 years before starting this Agri Collaboratory, building this Agri Collaboratory rather. Nipun, please.
Thank you, Bhaskar, and namaskar to everyone. And thank you, Pravesh, and thank you for all the guests for joining us for this very important conversation. And I really look forward to learning from all of you. Let me quickly introduce the Agri Collaboratory. We are a non-compete, not-for-profit agriculture think and do tank. TAC was formed in 2021 with several co-founders from diverse disciplines and many partner organizations like the Government of Telangana, Samunati, Social Alpha, etc. Now, friends, as you all know, agriculture challenges are very, very complex. And it is very difficult for any organization, whether it's a private or public or even the government for that matter, to try and solve some of these problems independently. So hence, we believe that the only way we can solve some of these issues is by coming together. And we believe that collaboratively, we can tackle and solve any one of these challenges that we have. Right? Now, let me talk about the primary topic on today's discussion, which is on credit. Our first use case is agri-finance and the availability of money for farmers. And this is a project called Project AgCX that we have been running now for a while to create digital assessment of the farmer's household, of the farm, and the planned crop for purpose-neutral loans. We have been creating it with collaborators, including, as I said, the Government of Telangana and several other startups. And we are trying to use data and digital technologies combined with government records, on-the-ground information from FPOs and other organizations that can help create a digital assessment, but also down the line support a lender in recovery of loans. We think we can generate an efficient, authentic digital assessment in a few minutes at less than 50 rupees, right? If we can get the right partners together and the right technologies together. And a proof of concept is being worked on at this point in time in some districts in Telangana, but we would be happy to collaborate with some of you to look at other states and other districts as well. Our vision, TAC's vision, the Agri Collaboratory's vision is to collaboratively work with organizations like yourselves, with NABARD, with several startups, PJTSAU University in Hyderabad, the government, several other large corporates, etc., to help make the Indian farmer profitable sustainable, and resilient. And for India to really emerge as one of our global leaders in agri-innovation. Once again, our focus is the small farmer, which includes tenanted as well as women farmers. And we are trying to use digital technologies to achieve that. So with that, I turn it back to Bhaskar, but I really look forward to learning from all of you on the issues around credit that the farmers face. And thank you once again for joining us today. Bhaskar, back to you.
Thank you, Nipun. We all appreciate your vision and passion for agriculture. So, as per RBI guidelines, both public sector and private sector banks should spend 18% of their lending amount towards agriculture as a priority sector. But in reality, only 14% is happening. Experts feel that it should be around 25% with more banking laws and arbitrage. Above all these things, the farmers do not get agriculture loans easily. So let us now invite our keynote speaker, Mr. Pravesh Sharma. A Madhya Pradesh cadre IAS officer took a voluntary retirement to start Sabjiwala, an online portal that delivered fresh fruits and vegetables to consumers directly from the farmland. He expanded Sabjiwala to Karnatan Farm Tech and FPO. Sri Sharma's professional journey led him to hold prominent positions such as Agriculture Secretary of Madhya Pradesh, Indian Representative of the International Fund for Agriculture Development, and Managing Director of Small Farmers Agri-business Consortium. We all know that SFAC has pioneered the formation and growth of farmer producing organization in the country. His story reminds us that true success lies in having the courage to pursue our dreams. He is currently chairman of NAFPO. Sir, your keynote address.
Namaskar to everyone. Thank you for inviting me. I frankly have joined to listen and learn from everybody. You have a very interesting cohort of participants. And I don't think that people would like to hear a bhashan in the middle of the afternoon, especially when your theme is so focused. I'll perhaps only take 2-3 minutes to set the context as I understand it, because while the goal of channeling additional credit, creating additional channels of credit to agriculture, especially through this entity called the Farmer Producer Organization, it's most welcome. It's wonderful to see people of Nipun's background who would typically be seen in places like New York or Paris or London, getting their hands and feet dirty on people like us, fortunately or unfortunately, had no choice. So we had to start at the bottom end, but to see somebody with his background and so many of you, there is Dr. Vadivel, one of the most distinguished agriculture scientists we had after retirement. He's working with FPOs in Tamil Nadu. So I think the sector is extremely fortunate to receive so much attention now, and definitely that will lead to solutions. But can we look at this by stepping back for a minute on what is the problem we are butting our heads against? And I always try to, make it, shall I say, for my own understanding, which unfortunately is a bit simplistic, but I'll try and put this problem in what I call the 4 corners of this playing field. So agriculture is an activity happening within these 4 corners. And these 4 corners today for me are defined by, the first is exactly what you are trying to address, which is agriculture as a sector is facing a huge capital crisis. Credit is one part of it, but it's an overall capital availability of capital crisis. Public investments have gone down, and whenever public investments in agriculture go down, private investments also tend to fall. When I say private, it obviously means the farmer is the primarily private investor. So the first corner of this field is the huge capital crisis. The second corner of this field is what I call the natural resource crisis. Our soils are degrading, they are just simply flowing away because of both climate and human-induced interventions. You have overuse and contamination as well as depletion of water resources. So that's the second crisis, that your factor productivity is actually going down. The third crisis is, of course, a human crisis. Everybody knows the young just simply do not want to stay in agriculture. I was in Maharashtra for the last 3 days, and I saw for myself how the cohort of farmers today is all in the 40 to 50, age zone. And their kids are willing to go and work as a courier in the nearest town, but not help the father on the farm, because they do not see farming as an aspirational activity, as a activity. People said this openly, that today farmers' sons are not getting married. People with daughters do not want to marry them off into farming households. Even the person with the lowest government job is preferred over a farm. And these are huge social crises in our rural backwaters. So this is the third corner of the field. And the fourth corner is, of course, a marketing crisis. For everything else, we look at the world as a market. But for agriculture, not just the country is a market, sometimes as small a zone as your district is the market. There are still districts in this country, including in the wonderful land of Tamil Nadu, where Dr. Vadivel is sitting, where produce cannot go from one district boundary to the other. So these are the four corners in which the agriculturist is playing: the capital crisis, the natural resource crisis, the marketing crisis, and of course the human resource crisis. So the attempt, whether it's working with an FPO or the attempt to create a digital platform which can address one of these four challenges, of course, every such effort is welcome. And as I said, I congratulate Nipun and his team for trying to come out with a solution. My only input at this stage would be, and it's interesting that I saw an example of a rural lender during my visit, which is using this household cash flow assessment method to advance investment in agriculture to rural households. But they use a very interesting mix of technology and human intervention, because their understanding is that without the human interface, they will not be able to customize the solution. The agriculturist today is not a financially savvy person, right? So if you productize financial solutions, his understanding may limit him from choosing what is most appropriate for him. So how do you, and I'm not saying that this can't be done digitally, but I'm just maybe making Nipun's challenge worse than it already is, that how do you enable him to structure the best solution for himself? So once these households, their initial connect is on a digital app, but then there is a person who visits them and helps them structure the kind of loan or the tenure, etc., etc. I thought it was very interesting what I saw. So, of course, there are many such very innovative, initiatives on the ground, and I'm sure the Agri-Collaboratory will reach out to them and also try and get them on this platform, because I'm sure you're agnostic to specific players or specific products. You obviously are trying to create this big marketplace, so all power to you. And I'll close by saying that I believe that the FPO can be one of the vehicles. I've never said if you have created FPOs, all the problems of agriculture are going to be solved. Of course not. But if you are looking to give agency to the smallest of producers, women producers, if you are trying to lower the cost of delivering technology, and today perhaps the most urgent technology to be delivered is not productivity enhancement, but actually adaptation to the rapid pace of climate change, right? On how to conserve resources, how to actually increase carbon sequestration. So all that is offered on this platform. We now have 26,000 plus FPOs in the country. By one estimate, already more than 3 crore farmers are either members of or in some way are connected to an FPO within their community. So I think these are huge numbers that can be leveraged. And I wish you the very best for your efforts. Thank you so much for inviting me and for letting me share my thoughts. I'll now just listen in for the rest of the time that I'm on this call. Thank you again.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for your valuable inputs. I mean, Nipun and Ashutosh started this particular Agri Collaboratory with an intention of converting those crises into opportunities. And Agri Collaboratory is one company where we are encompassing the entire agriculture from a ground level to the higher levels and things. Thanks for your feedback and thanks for your advice. Let us now get into the Mr. Vilas Shinde. Mr. Vilas Shinde, you are a hero for many of one of us. I mean, I keep hearing about you. Many people say that they have taken guidance from you. Okay. Mr. Vilas Shinde holds a postgraduate degree in agriculture, persisted with his dreams to work for the betterment of farmers, succeeded in his efforts. In 2010, he started Sahyadri Farmers with a just mere investments of 1 lakh of 100 farmers as an FPO. Today, Sahyadri Farmers is a massive success story with 20,000 farmers collectively owning about 35,000 acres in Nasik with 24 villages in Maharashtra. They produce about 1,000 tons of more than 1,000 tons of fruits, vegetables, and has a 1,007 crore turnover. Around 60% of the Sahyadri farm's fruits, vegetables are exported. His FPO has built fruit processing plant and also started Kisan Hub for farmers, inputs and farming. With such huge success in a short span of time, it will be enlightenment for us to hear the financial challenges, how his FPO has overcome. Mr. Vilas Shinde.
Thank you, Bhaskar sir. I am audible?
Yeah.
Right. First of all, thank you for this opportunity. At Sahyadri, the ecosystem which we have built is all based on our personal experiences, specifically my personal experiences as a farmer. I did my graduation and post-graduation in agriculture engineering. And after that, I have started my journey as a farmer and also as a social entrepreneur. And in the initial phase, what I learned that as a small farmer, it's very difficult to survive as a business, and it's very difficult to make the farming as a profitable business. And that is because of the multiple challenges which as an individual farmer you have to face. And it's challenging to solve that problem on individual level. And also another important thing that as a farmer, if you are having just focus on production, so that will not help to make your business profitable. Actually, it is a complete ecosystem which you need to build from production, post-harvest and supply chain marketing up to consumer. If you will reach with the proper ecosystem and with the proper control, then only you can become a profitable business. So with that, all the different initial years learning, we have started focusing on complete ecosystem creation. Before Sahyadri, there was a one phase on individual level. I tried to develop one grape ecosystem with 25 fellow farmers in 2004. And from 2004 to 2010, in that first 6-year period, we learned to how we can create an ecosystem where production will be focused with the consumer expectation. Also, how we can make the farming efficient, plus the post-service operations, their challenges, and also need-based investment in post-service, and also approaching the customer with the right quality standard and also efficiency. All that we learned in the initial phase before Sahyadri. And then in 2011, Sahyadri Farmers Producer Company has started as a farmer producer company with the clear vision that we want to make farming profitable for all our member farmers in all the circumstances. And also we should focus on the consumer expectation, that the consumer, whether it is from the Indian market or from the global market, He's expecting the quality product, healthy product, also traceable products, and also affordable products. So that for that we need a complete ecosystem with the scale, and for that we also need a huge required infrastructure, and infrastructure plus the all the supply chain ecosystem plus the technology interventions, all that requires capital. And without capital, you cannot expect ecosystem creation. So this was a purely a professional thought that for our own need, we are creating a farmer producer company. So obviously, we also need to put our own capital. If we are dependent on any other outside stakeholder, whether it is a government or any other private equity fund, so it's not possible to create a solution, because if it is our challenges, so then for that our own initiative is required for creating a capital, and then accordingly then we decided to get a solution for financial management. In the initial period, my own understanding was clear that though it is a noble thought and though it is a for the benefit of all the fellow farmers, but if I am expecting that all the farmers will immediately give response for capital creation, it's not so easy. And also another thing that our small farmers, they don't have surplus money in their pocket, and if I am expecting that they will invest in the company and to give the response for our all the vision and also our thought process, it's not so easy. So better to create some different thought, and that thought was that if as a farmer producer company, if we'll focus on creating value from the initial period itself, and if that compared to the traditional marketing system or traditional solution to the farmer, if our farmer producer company is giving better value creation, better premium, or better profit, so then against that, if we'll ask a farmer to reinvest that profit again into the producer company as a share, then definitely that will be possible, and farmer will also give positive response, and then that model actually works. So with that, then we every year from 2011 2017, the first 7 years we focus on business model that our the main focus will be to the only European market, where we'll get the premium price compared to the domestic market. We'll not focus on the domestic market. In the domestic market, there are a lot of challenges on the supply chain side, on the consumer mindsets level, on the retail side, and it's not possible for farmer producer company to handle all these challenges immediately in the initial period. So better to focus on the Europe market, where premium is possible. But for that, you need to focus on the standards, you need to focus on the efficiency, and all that is related to the farm operation. So we focus on that particular point, that if we'll focus on the farmer's mindset, that instead of working for the Indian market, let us focus European market, but where we'll get the better price. If domestic market is paying 30 rupees, European market can pay 60 rupees. But that opportunity you can get only if you have the right quality product, right standard product, which European customer is expecting. So for that, definitely farmers, their thought process changing, and also giving them the support, all the need-based SOPs. So that we work, and our farmer producer companies, all the directors and also the management, they work on that part, which was possible at FPC without any financial intervention. It was just knowledge building, and also the knowledge bank that was to share with the farmer, and that actually gave solution, because of that all that initial effort, the 1 ton per acre harvest went to 8 ton per acre exportable harvest, and that has created a value for the small farmer at farm level itself. And that the 30 rupees product, actually it got 60 rupees ex farm, and then above that 60 rupees, FPC got additional premium at trade level around 5 to 6 rupees every year. And that additional 6 rupees, 5 rupees which we got, during this first 5 years period. Average was 5 rupees. Sometimes it was 2 rupees. Sometimes it was 7 rupees. But all that money then instead of giving back to the farmer in cash form, we asked them to reinvest that money into the farmer producer company as a share, and that then every farmer, they happily agreed for that terms, because it was a win-win situation. It was like aam ke aam gutle ke dam. They got a premium because of the quality product at farm level. Instead of 30-60 rupees average price they got in the first 5 years period. Exactly number was 67 rupees for the first 5 years. So that was a immediate benefit to the member, and plus the additional trade level profit, which was not expected by the farmer, that was also came at FPC level, and that willingly they then reinvest in the farmer producer company. So with this model, then every year we had created at an average 1 crore capital at farmer producer companies level, and then it gives actually a strong background for the farmer producer company's balance sheet. And because of our own capital, then banks also started coming forward. First 5 years, no bank was ready to support Sahyadri. In 2014, then first time DCB Bank came forward, and they gave us packing credit limit. And actually,
Mr. Vilas, if you can just shorten a little bit, because we need to go forward to other participants also.
yes,
Sorry
yes,
to
I will do
interrupt
it.
here. Yeah, sorry to interrupt here. Sorry.
So basically, all that process actually work it in a different manner. This was completely our own thought. Nobody was giving this thought, or nobody was guiding us. It was actually based on our own experience, and also with the clear understanding that a farmer producer company need to solve their own challenges. They could not expect our other stakeholders support, or government support. And farmer producer company is purely a professional organization, so they need to think in a professional manner. With that thought, all these financial challenges we saw in our initial period.
Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot, Vilas.
Sorry to
Thanks.
interrupt here, Mr. Vilas, but just looking at time, I requested. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Vilas. I mean, you
Thanks.
not only gave us the insights into the finance aspect of the whole thing, you gave us the very good info on the marketing aspects of the whole thing. Sir, we request you to stay back, because there are few questions which I think only you can answer during the session. Please stay with us, and we will ask those questions whenever they are ready.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, FPOs established to enhance the farmers' capacity in rural economy through market-oriented approach. Two main factors of the FPOs are financial independence and stable and visible markets. So we have esteemed presence of Mr. Yogesh Dwivedi, who is a farmer and has 22 years of experience in promotion of sustainable agriculture and particularly agriculture research and development. Can you believe it? He has 1.67 lakhs of farmers is controlling in Madhya Pradesh. That's a huge. I read this in some of the papers. I was thinking who could do this kind of a thing, but here is the man who is that kind of a wide this thing. So he was instrumental in promoting more than 100 farm producing companies and MP, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, everything. Sir, we can go on like this in the evening. You can please say your financial implications of your FPOs and how you overcame it. Mr. Dwivedi.
Yeah, namaskar to everybody. Yes, currently we are working with 189 FPOs of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, and out of our outreach is more than 1.8 lakh farmers currently. And since we have been registered under Producer Company Act, so we are directly in several places. We are directly working with the farmers, and wherever our member FPOs are there, we are working through the FPOs.
Our main mandate is just to provide basically a backward, forward, and financial linkage, technology linkage support to our farmers as well as our FPOs who are our members. So in fact, today the topic which is given to me actually, and it was respected to me, the problems which are faced by our farmers as well as our FPOs regarding this credit management or this financial need actually. So if I have firstly I would like to talk about the farmers actually, because we are dealing with the farmers and what the problem what our farmers is faced, particularly in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. We are mostly dealing with the farmers who are who grow grain and pulses crop actually, and they are the farmers who are always having the problem of cash flow or the credit problem, because the fund flow is always an issue for the normal typical Indian farmers who grow 2 or 3 crops in a season, because crops any crop it takes around 3 to 4 months in mature in harvesting. So during that period farmers is always having the problem of credit, and so surely, and for this their domestic as well as the agriculture need, the main problem that farmers, although there are certain schemes which are working well, like KCC Kisan Credit Card actually, so farmers who are having KCC, so that KCC has addressed their need in certain extent, no doubt. But if you see, like in our cases, if you see our out of 1.8 lakh farmers, still around 75,000 farmers, they are the farmers who don't have KCC. Either they have declared as a default because of some reason, or they are not the member of credit societies. So those farmers, basically the majority of the small marginal farmers that are saying, they are still facing the problem. And the main problem actually from the banker sides, because the treatment that you are getting, we have already visited several banks several times, and what we see is most of the rural banks, they are overcrowded. They are not treating farmers properly. Mostly farmer ill-treated at local branch level. Bankers are, the procedure of, that documentation part that banks is expecting from the farmer. They are not well versed about the process, and mostly the processing time that is taken by the bank is very long actually. That's why farmers are forced to take the loan either from the local money lender or from NBFCs, because NBFCs are growing very fast, and NBFCs mostly their systems and procedures are very easy in compared to these nationalized bank or the formal credit systems. But the problem that is that interest rate it is high. So this is the part actually which is mostly this problem which is our farmers are having. But if you see at the FPO level, in our cases, basically FPOs government, although having a certain scheme for like credit guarantee fund, which was earlier managed by the SFAC, and currently it is transferred to the NAB Sandakshan. NAB Sandakshan actually it is the subsidiary which is set up by the NABARD for providing credit linkage guarantee to the bank or any NBFC or any bank whoever wanted to give the credit. So around 85% covered, it is provided by the NAB Sandakshan. But unfortunate part is that actually very last week I was I had attended some program actually where around 18 bankers from different public sector banks, they were joined the program, and there was a person actually he was I cannot quote his name actually, but he's from the very reputed national bank, which is claimed they are the biggest bank in India. So the CGM actually what he was asking actually when I raised this question, sir, if you saw the overall, the credit percentage of the nationalized bank in FPO, it is still less than 5% actually, because 90% it is coming from, if you leave that particularly this NAB Kisan. So if you leave the NAB Kisan, so the contribution of public sector bank, it is insignificant. It is not more than 10%. So what is said actually, Yogesh, actually, sorry, but what I have a problem I have seen in the FPO, they don't have, capital, don't have, they are not able to put the collateral in place. That's why banks are not going forward. But I was really surprised, because being a CGM of a bank actually. And then I said, sir, since credit guarantee fund actually it is set up by the central government to provide the collateral-free loan for the FPOs. And so he said, no, that's okay. But if they are having collateral, then can get loan very easy. Maimola said, no, it is not possible. If you see the terms and condition of the credit guarantee fund, if you are taking the collateral, then your credit guarantee scheme it is cancelled in that case, because it is the violation of the norms of that case. So these are the problem. What I mean to say actually, the bankers actually from top to bottom actually they are not aware about the such schemes of the government. They had in fact we have during the Pravesh sir actually, because that is the scheme, it was initiated by him and when he was the MD of SFAC, but around from 2014 to now it's not 2023, more than around 10 years gone actually. But that literacy actually it is still not reached up to the downside of the bankers actually. So that is a major another problem. Like they are always saying that earlier the guideline which were published in 2014 that said every FPO should have 2 years of balance sheet if you are looking for the credit from the bank. But that clause it is removed last 2 years back by the central government. But if you talk with any bankers, they always quote that clause actually. So we are fighting. In fact, fortunately we have succeeded in certain extent, like in Madhya Pradesh around 6 public sector cases it is sanctioned by the central bank from 10 lakhs to 85 lakhs actually. And we have, but a lot of work that we did actually, and it is not easy for every FPO can do, because we did we in fact what you can say that the literacy program that we conducted for the banker at their branch level, number of times we approach them with the guidelines. We have shows them what is written, please read.
Did we lose him?
Banker.
Mr. Dwivedi, we are not able to hear you. Bhaskar, maybe when he reconnects, he can continue. Till then, you can start with whatever you have.
Something has happened to his internet connection.
Yeah. Bhaskar, can you continue? You are on mute, Bhaskar. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. I think his link is not there. So when he joins back, we can have him again. Yeah.
Okay. So
sorry, so there was an interruption actually. Yeah, so that was the internet problem actually. So these are the problem actually. So what I mean to say, there are a lot of problem, particularly the credit systems and the credit. What is the present credit system? It not suits. In fact, there are some mismatching between the farmers, FPOs, and bankers. But no doubtly, in between several NBFC came forward and they have customized their credit norms as per need of the farmers. And that's why now if you see there the outflow at NBFC level, it is a very high. And but the problem that FPOs are facing, because the interest rate that mostly the NBFC is charging actually, it not suits the FPOs or not the farmers, because the business that they are doing, it is not a very high margin business actually. Any FPO, if they are dealing with the fruits, vegetables, or the milk, that credit interest rate more than 16% can be suited. But if you are dealing with the grain where margin is 0.5% or 1%, so those type of businesses are agriculture and agri inputs FPO deal actually, that we are most of them are FPO deal. For those type of businesses, this type of higher interest rate, it is not suit to the FPOs. And so this is the problem actually, and that we are facing here. Although NAP Kisan is in fact is giving loan to the FPO in lower interest rate, but there if you see the staff actually, like in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh and Uttar Pradesh, only 2 men they are responsible for providing the credit to the more than 1,000 FPOs. So there is 2-person team, they are sitting in the Navara. So this type of problem they are facing. And NBFC, what they are saying always, and that is there, I think it is genuine problem, because they are saying they are getting funds from the bank, at the rate of 14%, 13%. So how you can expect, credit lesser than, 16 or 15%. So these are the problems of only that I wanted to highlight here. So it is the problem of literacy, the problem of the current existing systems at the bank level, because it's that current system, it's not, in the favor of particularly small farmers. It is not having the space for the people who are not much literate, who are not much expert in the documentations. So, so they are not able to get the benefit of, credit schemes of the government, except that KCC and these are schemes which is worked well. And but if you see the overall cash flow, because if you see the real analysis of the credit flow in the agriculture sector, so several banks claim that they have already reached the target of 60%. But if you see really, if you analyze their portfolio, will find that most of the businessmen or most of the merchant who are having the land in their name, actually they are taking they are showing them as a farmers, and they are taking the major part of that priority sector lending scheme. So they are the real beneficiary of the scheme. They are meeting the target by different ways. But if you see the small farmers, so they are still deprived from this what you can the competitive credit facilities. So only that I wanted to restrict myself here, and I would like to hear from.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Dwivedi, thank you. And he will, in fact, Bhaskar will ask you a few questions which you actually highlighted on. So we would like you to answer at that time also.
The one thing which I noted is we need to take lessons from you on the banking, which we will do.
Yeah,
you are a busy man. I know you don't get time for all, but don't go, sir. Today we have few questions to you during the session. Please stay back. And
I will be here. I will be here. No.
Yes, thanks. Okay. Moving on. Every FPO, irrespective of their size, needs finance planning, which is essential for growth and sustainability. It provides broad ideas to meet the expected and unexpected opportunities. With this, let's start the actual session. As we all, before starting the session, one or two things is that we are going to discuss about the financial challenges of the farmers of the FPO and the FPO as such. So, and we are also aware of it that from government side, there are many issues are there, but we are not going to discuss and touch base what government is all about. With these two things, let us start our next section. As we are all aware of it, the biggest challenge for farmers today is financing. If you see from government point of view, they feel it is as per the norms. RBI feels it's work in progress. The banks feel they are doing well as their targets are met. But if you see in the reality, ground reality, it looks totally different. From ground level, the Agri collaborative, we did a lot of surveys and we found out there are many issues for the farmers. Farmers will not be given loan at all. The reasons are many. Farmers shy away from applying for loans because first paperwork is more and they don't know how to do it. Need to visit banks many a times. And mainly no one educated them. I think FPOs need to take this into cognizance and should help farmers in getting their loans. Farmers will not get finance within his sowing period. That is major concern. Farmers will never get sanctioned as per its need. These are the four different aspects we have seen. And I would like to invite Mr. Narasimha Reddy on his views on this. Mr. Narasimha Reddy is ex-MLA of Nalgonda district, and he left politics and dedicated his life to Kattanguru FPO. He spends most of his time, though he lives in Hyderabad, he spends most of his time in the Kattanguru village. He's been my inspiration and he's been my, what do you call it, as father figure in FPO movement. Because of him, I wrote those two books and I'm going to dedicate those two books to him. Yes, sir, you can start.
Tell me, sir, what can I speak about crop?
Yeah, crop at this stage. Crop loan. We'll have 2-3 more seconds with you, sir.
Actually,
Sir, you're on mute. Can you unmute yourself?
Actually, I am not perfectly English. So I'm little bit in Hindi also, but I can try to speak in English. As of now, it's a good meeting for us. And I am self-enlightened, Mr. Vilas Shinde and Mr. And what is the problems is going on, how to make it a FPOs to go to the market, challenges, everything. They have succeeded some extent. We will be very happy to Mr. Vilas Shinde institution. I am also visited that Sahyadri farms. Basing on that, we are also trying to implement some of the activities in our FPO. Today, we are speaking about the agriculture loans. It is mainly agriculture is the one of the biggest farming employment generating in India. Out of 50%, more than 50% of the people are in agriculture field. Almost land will be 39 lakh 50 crores of acres of land is cultivating in India. Most of the people, 85% of the people are small and marginal farmers. They are starving about the crop loans. Actually, Government of India, Reserve Bank, they have given some guidelines about the financing for the agriculture. Government Reserve Bank of India has given a direction to the priority sector. The lending will be 18%, not less than 18%. We must give to the bankers, to the farmers, at the rate of scale of finance of the decided with the NABARD. So if we think about the 40 crores of acres of land, for example, crop average 20,000 per acre, it required for the 80 lakh crores of rupees is required for the agriculture for the crop loans. So naturally, farmers have some lot of money, some investment is got, everything is there. At least 40 to 50 lakhs crores of rupees is required in the agriculture field to the crop loan requirement of the loans. Basing on that, now we are getting only 10 to 11 lakhs crores of rupees for agriculture sector, taking the loans. Remaining shortfall is going on. For example, crop loan, the bank is not giving. They go for the private sector or gold loans or some hypothecation loans, and crop investment of the crop to sell their products to the business people. They are going to the getting of the loan. Actually, these challenges, some of the people, they are not getting the loans also. For example, government land is given to the government, assigned lands, they are not getting the loans. These type of challenges facing on the agriculture field, particularly poor and marginal, small marginal people not getting the requirement of crop loans, so that they have go for the financial purchase.
Sir, we can't hear you. We can't
Sir,
hear you.
please unmute yourself, sir.
They are facing up a lot of problems. The government, last 20 years back, they have decided for the 18% is the priority sector. But as of now, they are giving only 14%. Or all around India, they are giving only 14% of the total lending. It's a meager, very meager. So the 18% will be exceed up to 25% at least. And also they must give to the as per scale of finance for the farmer. Then only they can get the amount from bank or some elsewhere. Then he can invest the right time in the field. Actually, the crop loans, the banker is not giving right time. He is telling it after 1 month, 15 days, 20 days. The sowing season will be gone away. After getting the loan is not proper way, proper usage. Another aspect is if the loan is taken, second, they are not sufficient for that loan, bank loan. Remaining amount will back to the other financial institutions. The rate of interest will be more high. Then after his crop, he is selling to the crop, then he paid to the private financer. So bank will be NPA is going on. So our request, the government of India and financial institutions, banks, they must know about the lending of the crop loan.
How acute is the problem in your category? Is the problem is really acute?
Problem is there, but a little bit some they have adjusted by the bankers. So we'll go to the June 10th. You give a crop loan. No, you go back July. We require June 10th. Up to 1 month, you can pay the private loans or friendship hand loans, everything. They are going to manage. So actually, the finance requirement is not available. Example, I studied about UCO Bank in Nalgonda. The bank will be totally giving by the gold loan only. I studied at Muthoot Finance. Right time the bank is not giving. They go to the private and gold loans like the business people, like fertilizer, pesticide, seed shops is there. They are going to give a hand loan or notary. They're taking the items, inputs items for the lending. So that they are facing the problems right timely. If I go to the loan in private people, he's insisting to their fertilizer, their seed, their inputs. They are insisting. So I recommend not to meet that private finance. So
we will address it, sir. We heard the loan challenges are minimal in Tamil Nadu. Your views, Dr. Vadivel? So Vadivel, Dr. Vadivel?
Yes, please, sir.
Yes, sir. Waiting for you.
Senator, good evening to all senior people. I have a few points to highlight. The one is FPO credit and the second one is farmers credit.
Sir, let us talk about farmers credit now. FPO credit, I will come to you later.
Okay. As far as farmers credit are concerned, the farmers are so serious about getting loan from bank, if not from nationalized banks or scheduled banks, at least from cooperative banks, so that in the next election, the loan will get waived. So this is a driving force to see that 80% of the farmers are loany farmers in Tamil Nadu. Further,
Tamil Nadu people are intelligent anyway.
Because repeatedly every government assumes office, their first promise is to waive the credit. And the second thing, the Ninja Card has recently introduced Ninja card to all FPOs through FPO. They are giving credit to the farmers. That is so beneficial. So up to 45 days, they need not pay. Every day they can come and
That's
use
the KCC type of card?
Not KCC, sir. This is Ninja card linked to Bank of Baroda.
Okay. That Ninja card.
Even in our company and also in few more companies we have introduced. So for instant money, they need not worry about it. Before 45th day, if you are able to pay, then there is no interest at all. Then they start with 20,000 to begin with, and then the slab is enhanced to 40,000 and up to 1.5 lakhs they are giving if the farmer's payment is genuine.
Yeah,
so,
Ninja card basically Bank of Baroda promotes in the dairy mostly.
Yes, sir. Bangalore-based company.
Okay, sir.
Please.
Any other thing on the farmer loan? Is anything?
No, sir. We have
very rosy picture anyway, Tamil Nadu. So
yeah.
it's a music to ears. Let us hear from another Tamil Nadu FPO. Venkatrasa, sir, you're there? Venkatrasa? I saw him coming in.
Sir, you need to unmute yourself.
So that is Nasimha Reddy. Venkatrasa.
No. He
I
was
saw
also,
him.
I saw him too. Yeah. Here he is.
He's there. He's there. He needs to unmute.
Unmute yourself, sir. Sir, it's on. There'll be 3 dots on your screen.
The audio one you have to unmute.
Yeah, but
Send him an unmute request.
I already sent. I sent 2-3 times. Sir, can you hear us? Okay, you can go ahead, Bhaskar. We'll take him back. Yeah, when he
So
figures.
the credit picture is quite rosy in Tamil Nadu because of whatever the reasons can be. So, but it is not so rosy in Karnataka. Mr. Manjunath is there? Mr. Manjunath of Karnataka? I have not seen him.
I have not seen him too. Yeah, I have not seen him.
Okay. Let us go to Jitendra Singh. Thakur. Jitendra Singh Thakur also may not come.
He's not there.
Okay, Mr. Sheetal, Maharashtra.
He doesn't seem to be there too.
Okay. So let us now move on to the rented farmers issue. The rented farmers issue is the biggest challenge Indian agriculture industry is facing. So of the 16 to 20 crore farmers India has, 83% are small and marginal farmers, of which 25 to 30% are farmers who has no land, probably less than 2 acres of land kind of thing. These people, they take rent from other, I mean, they take rent from others and they start for a better living and all. So these farmers are not given loans at all because they don't own any farms and other things. So Mr. Lakshmi Narayana of AP, can you throw some light on this? Before that, you can just give your credentials briefly, also address my earlier crop loan challenges in your area and address the current issue. Mr. Lakshmi Narayana.
Bhaskar, he has left. He just left some time back.
Yeah,
I saw him.
Yeah, he said, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were left. I'm sorry.
How can he
sorry.
go?
I joined my institution ID. So that's why his name is Yajali. Good afternoon, all. This is Lakshmi Narasimha, the chair of Yajali Farmer Producer Company. And Bhaskar Garu, thank you so much for bringing me to this enlightening session and giving me an opportunity to talk about the financial constraints of the farmers as well as the producers companies. See, as you said, the majority of the from coastal part of Andhra Pradesh, where we stay, like working in the Guntur district of Andhra Pradesh, which is in a coastal belt. In our region, like a majority of the farmers are tenant farmers, and actually the landlords, the majority of the landlords, I can say like 75% of the landlords left the farming. The majority of the farmers who are actually doing farming is a tenant farmers, who is like rented farmers, you can say. But the financing for the crop production, which is like a crop loans pattern, is not at all what you can say, like no institution is coming forward to give the loans for these tenant farmers because they don't own any lands. Even though say like they have the tenant farming, what you can say, like letters from revenue and agriculture departments, but no financial institution will accept them. And this is one of the major reasons that tenant farmers doesn't have the any access at all to the any financial model. So I'll also what I can convey to you like that leave about the tenant farmers, even for the actual farmers, landlords also. These agriculture loans, particularly where the banking institutions are offering, these loans are not at all utilizing for the agriculture purpose. I can say support, I can say like for scale of finance, you take the scale of finance. For there are different modes for different like crops. For paddy, somewhere around some 50,000 rupees per acre they are getting.
Okay, good.
My father is a farmer. He holds some 8 acres of the land, and he will get some 4 lakhs as a crop loan from a bank. It is as a single shot, he will receive the balance loan of 4 lakhs every year. But the problem is the financial literacy in the farmer. Financial literacy of my father is very, very poor. Not only for my father, the financial literacy in the farmers are very poor. They will get the loan from the bank at a single shot, but this amount, since they are receiving is in a bulk, they can't keep this amount for their entire crop time pattern for 4 to 5 months or 3 to 4 months. This amount is utilizing by for their another financial needs like construction of house and children's education or health and something else, but not actually for the agriculture. So he is taking a 4 lakhs loan. That loan is absorbed for his financial needs. And from then, maybe a particular month when they are receiving the loan from the bank, that particular month agriculture needs may be getting satisfied with this loan. After that, he must depend on the local money lenders or else a local, what you can say, like fertilizers, trader guys and local commission agents who can offer the loan for their agriculture needs at 24%.
Yeah, let me know. See, my concern is about the rented farmers. We all agree that normal farmers has this kind of problem. If the rented farmers brought under FPO and if they are given some kind of a security, will it help?
See,
I mean, if FPOs can offer them some security.
Yeah, I'm coming to the point. With a few, what you can say, like the financial models, definitely FPOs can help tenant farmers. Because tenant farmers not having the financial access to any institutional financial access at all. It's not only banks, not only NBFCs, they don't have the access at all. But as an FPO, the bank may not have the trust on their farmers.
Yeah, that's true.
Because for them, it's the financial relation will work. If the farmer is able to give some collateral, they will give the loan. If the no collateral, no loan. But for the FPOs, crop is the collateral.
Yeah, crop is. Yes.
And FPOs work in the particular region along with these farmers. In Andhra, there is one model which is successful with the self-help groups.
Yes, FHG.
Yes, self-help group. If at all FPO, in one FPO can form a self-help groups type of farming groups, FHG groups, and 10 farmers together, and then FPO can offer them loans for their crop protection.
Law has to be changed for that, or the existing laws can offer this for the tenant?
No, law is not there. Law is not there. But a few FPOs is doing, even we are doing it, because as a farmer producers company, I can't lend the money to the farmers directly. NDFCs can do, but banks can do, but as a producers organization, we can't do. But how we are doing it is, we are offering the farmers as a purchase advance, produce purchase advance.
Okay, I agree with you. Okay.
And then we are taking it back. But the problem here is where FPOs will get the money.
Yeah, that is another. That is the biggest
Yes.
point. I agree with you.
So banks, if you go to the banks, FPOs can go to the banks for the loans. FPOs will come. They will get the like saying no collateral securities.
Yeah.
FPOs is working in a villages. Even I am working in a village. I have an agriculture land. So banks won't take agriculture lands as a collaterals, but they can mortgage it for the crop loans, but they can't take it as a collateral. Okay. And the institution and the construction, what you can say, like warehouses and all, like obviously, we have to keep them a low. To construct itself, we have to take the loan.
Yeah, but I agree with you.
So
let us slightly move on, sir.
For the FPOs.
Let us take view from others also. Divya, yeah. What about the tenanted farmers in this? Mr. Lakshmi, I'll come back to you. Tenanted farmers issue of FPO giving them support. Will it solve?
Sorry, what is question?
If tenanted farmers are given protection by the FPO, will they get the loan?
By the bank or by the FPO?
By the FPO is giving security to them. So bank will give them loan, tenanted farmers, or through FPO. If FPO stand guarantee between the tenant farmer and the bank.
FPO actually the guarantee, in fact, that FPO is not able to give the guarantee, but that letter of comfort, like we do actually number of FPOs, and in fact we did some experiment with SBI and NBFC like Samunati, where these organizations have given loan to the farmers with the guarantee of the bank. But the result was actually, it was mixed actually. In fact, in several places, because some places like in we did in Sahdol district of Madhya Pradesh, actually the eastern part of Madhya Pradesh, but the crop was failed and several loan was it was not returned in the time actually. So FPO got into trouble actually. So that is the problem. So we did actually we provide in like input so to the in the credit to the farmers, if a tenant farmers also who are giving produce, or they have some commitment to give their produce or to sell their produce through FPOs. But that guarantee, because FPO is also not in that position, their finance is not, they can take the guarantee for all their loans actually for all their farmers. But it is in some places we are doing it, particularly when it is short term loan, like Madhya Bharat. Actually, we give the guarantee to the farmers as well as FPOs both. Like if it is a 15 days, 20 days, so that we do it. But for the long term, actually, we by seasonal we are having the problem, because we also face the cash problem.
Yeah. Ms. Vilas Shinde, I mean, how is the Maharashtra scene, sir? Will you offer this kind of a securities to the your farmers and getting the tenanted farmers out of woods? So Vilas?
Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Vilas Shinde. Will you people help tenanted farmers with some kind of a loan, either from NBFC or from the banks, by standing a security layer to giving a security layer to him?
Actually, for our members, we are giving a corporate guarantee for the bank loans.
Very
So
good. Very good. Excellent. Excellent.
So based on that, banks are providing credit for input.
Oh, very good. Very good. Very
So
good.
that is dependent on the limit set based on that the acreage and also the shareholding with the farmer producer company.
Okay. So Dr. Vadivelu, can you show some light on the rented farmers in Tamil Nadu?
In Tamil Nadu, sir, many few FPOs, nearly 10 to 12 FPOs, they avail finance from the private finance institutions and again re-lend it to the needy farmers, sir.
That can be rented farmers also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Maybe 1 or 2%. Yes, a commission the FPO takes for the service activity and their mobility and collection and all. And this system also going on well in down south of Madurai.
So let me move on to some other subject. I mean, TAC did a ground level survey of farmers' corporate challenges. I mean, farmers' crop loan challenges, and we almost we covered some villages in Telangana and other places. We not only covered the village, I mean, farmers at the village, we also covered the lead banks in their respective villages. Bank has their own problems, like understaffed and they overwork. For many farmers, the bank official help them even to fill up the farms. So that is the most troublesome thing, and they process the same. I think FPO should come into the picture and help the farmers in filling up those farms and others. From banking point of view, NPS are really a worry. So one farmer defaults, 100 other farmers will get affected, and enforcement become more tougher. Nipun has visited agri leadership teams in SBI, NABARD, Access, and ICICI Bank. Nipun, your views on the NPA and what they feel about it, briefly, please.
Bhaskar, can we have somebody else first? Then we can have Nipun.
You talk. You went to the banks.
No. I'm talking about. I'm saying in place of Nipun, can we have somebody else first?
Yeah, who else?
No. I'm saying from the group.
No, let Nipun answer it. You visited banks.
I think Nipun has something, so that's the reason I was asking.
Okay, then let's move on to some other thing. Okay, on sanctioning of loans, during our survey, we found apart from SBI, no other public-private sector fund adheres to RBI guidelines, like unsecured loans without holding patta, passbook, and others. So Is this prevalent in other places also? So Divedi, can you say something about it? Hello, so Divedi?
Yeah. So in case, in fact, the role that FPO, our several FPOs are playing that role actually, filling the form, taking farmers up to the bank actually. So that part actually, now all the old FPOs who are 2 to 3 years old, they are doing that job actually, and they are also succeeded in some extent actually. But the problem that came actually because these, as I said, actually, if you see the credit history or these credit scores are that in the case of marginal farmers, it is not good actually as per the bankers parameter. So what in fact in FPO also, most of the Madhya Bharat, because our BOD is also from the FPO side. So several cases we are forced to, we don't have option. We change our BODs sometimes because the female BODs, our women who are heading the FPOs, they are their credit system that is better than the male dominated FPOs actually, because most of the male dominated FPO out of 10 BODs, 2 or 3 as a default actually. As you said actually, one is default, so that whole FPOs they come into trouble. But for this credit, there's bankers documentation work actually, that responsibility is taken by the most of the FPOs to fill to meet the requirement of the bank. But responses of bank, I said actually it is the literacy, and that still actually it is still an issue that I spoken earlier.
So, Mr. Manjunath, what is the scene in the Karnataka, sir? As far as you get the crop loans easily, and how difficult each approach to the banks? Mr. Manjunath?
Mr. Manjunath, you need to unmute yourself, please. I have requested for an unmute, but I don't know. Probably he cannot see. Mr. Manjunath, can you unmute yourself? Bhaskar, you can ask. Nipun is here. You can ask Nipun.
Nipun, I asked one question. I mean, the banks had some NPA issues, and you met the leadership of the bank in Bombay. Can you just tell in 1 or 2 sentences what exactly the problems they're facing and what they want to do about it?
So thanks, Bhaskar. Especially the larger banks, they have significant issues in 2 grounds. One is the cost of processing transactions is very high. Some of them talk about spending 3,000 to 5,000 rupees per transaction, per loan transaction, right? So the cost of assessing and checking if the farmer is legitimate, etc., like that is very high. Second, they prefer to take some collateral. If it is not land, then they like gold, they like some other collateral, because uncollateralized loans, NPAs run in double digits. Some of them are 12%, 20%, etc. So they're very, very high. If you look at the total agriculture loans, they get masked underneath, the collateralized loans. But if you just look at the uncollateralized loans, they're very, very high. So they would also like to get a better credit assessment, which they can depend on, which is based on data, obviously, which is also dependent on some kind of a platform, so that the costs come down to maybe 500 rupees, 600 rupees, etc., down from 4,000 to 5,000. But also data that they are comfortable with regarding the individual, regarding the piece of land, the farmland, and then the crop.
Okay, Mr. Vilas Shinde, can you throw some light on this particular thing from banking point of view? They have huge NPA issues. Is it true, or how exactly we can go about it?
Can I
Vilas?
speak actually? Hello.
Yeah,
Hello?
Vilas Shinde. Go ahead.
No, I am Manjunath from Karnataka. Actually,
Karnataka.
I was not getting this thing.
Yeah. For you, the question is like this, sir. I mean, How exactly the crop loan scenario in Karnataka? I mean, are you getting easily, you are getting a crop loan with hypothecation, or you are getting unsecured loans? How exactly the scene is?
See, actually, our cooperative banks are giving,
Okay.
and even nationalized bank also giving, but they are not extending for all. What they will do, they will mortgage the land.
Okay.
Again, they will give the loan and against the mortgaging. And
But they're supposed to give unsecured loans, sir.
Unsecured loan, nobody is giving. Nobody is giving.
Public sector bank also.
Yeah, nationalized bank also, they're not giving.
Mortgage or hypothecation? There are two things.
Mortgage. But
Okay.
that will enter in Pani also. That the bank will mortgage, then they will release the amount.
What is the amount?
Amount they will give up to 3 lakhs. Cooperative banks, they will give 2 to 3 lakhs. Now the government is making 5 lakhs. It's they are telling, I don't know, but they are not implemented. And nationalized bank, they are giving up to 10 lakhs.
Okay.
But depend upon the crop, depend upon the area, they will calculate and they will give.
They will give. Okay. So you have not specified your FPO and from which area?
My FPO is Shantala Farmer Producer Company. It is located in Bangalore Rural and Nelmangla Taluk, Chamgondlobli.
How many members are there?
We are about 1,000 people are there. Our
That's a good
FPO
number.
started only 2 years back.
Okay. Okay, sir. I'll come back to you. Mr. Vilas Shinde, when I asked you a question on the NPAs of the banks, sir, I mean, do you feel the banks are right about it, or you want you can give some gnan on that? So Vilas?
So basically, if you see that the NPA in farming is around some specific crops and specific area. And just as an example, the ecosystem around sugarcane or around milk farming, in that area you will find less NPA or almost zero NPA, because that the finance given to the sugarcane farmer. So that is then for that sugar factory is actually giving guarantee or is responsible, or that the recovery is at that point, and so the fund is actually rotated properly. All the cash credit loans and even the term loans are monitored at that particular point. Same bank is giving loan to the sugar factory along with the sugar farmer. So obviously the bank is monitoring the complete chain. So the bank can also assess where is the actual issue, and accordingly then bank is taking his call. So there you will not find NPAs, but the main NPA you will find in other crops where there is no control on the marketing side. Bank is giving finance to the farmer for farming production activity, but when they're on the sales side, where that farmer is selling or where that money is rotated, where that is the money is actually going in which account, nobody is controlling. So it's very difficult to monitor bank also that fund, and that's why the NPAs are issues. And above that, actually the main thing is that the farming itself is a loss-making activity.
Yeah,
it's like a gamble.
I agree.
If the bank is giving finance to the gamble, then definitely it will be a some risky business. So if we'll create a complete ecosystem, and in that bank is financing to all the ecosystem stakeholder with one approach, then definitely we can control NPA. Currently, bank are financing farming sector just as a mandatory under the priority sector. They are not also considering farming as a business, and so they are not also thinking on such a ecosystem creation or complete solution for the farmer. And that's why I think the NPA issue is coming.
Yeah. Our farmers are honest in their repayments. I mean, let me ask this question to Lakshmi Narayan. Lakshmi Narayan, how you feel are the farmers are honest in their repayment? Will FPOs support, I mean, advise them to repay and take extra efforts to make them repay? Lakshmi Narayan.
We can't make everybody to the same like farmers also reflecting the society. Definitely, as an FPO, we have 700 farmers. Out of 700, we provide loans for 250 farmers. Where when you group them, and definitely like that is where the self-help group kind of thing got worked in Andhra. If 10 people come together, if one people is not able to pay, and remaining 9 people will take care of him to get the payment for the 10th person as well. If he is not able to pay, these 9 will repay. That is how we have to make them, their team as an answerable for the repayment. That scenarios we can make it.
I could see Mr. Venkat.
Joint viability, group
Yeah.
joint viability. Liability. Yes, joint viability.
Mr. Venkat Rasa is there. I can see him in the group. He has
He's
not
there,
spoken till
but
now.
he's not. He's
No,
not
sir.
unmuting himself.
Okay.
He's there, but he's not unmuting himself.
Hello.
Sir, can you unmute yourself, Mr. Venkat Rasa?
Hello.
Hello, Venkat Rasa. Can you take somebody help, sir, to unmute it? Probably
Okay.
somebody close to you.
Bhaskar, there's some. Bhaskar, Bhaskar, there's somebody who's raised his hand. I would like him to come in and.
What is his name?
Nand.
Bar.
I can see only Nand something.
Okay.
Mr. Nand.
Okay, let me ask the next question. How exactly the cooperative banks in your area,
Around
Dwivedi, how serious they are? When are they more active than the normal publics and private banks, and how exactly they operate? Sure, Mr. Dwivedi.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Firstly, that cooperative bank, we know they give loan to only their member. So who says the member of cooperatives basically only can get the loan, mostly particularly except.
How easy, how tough, sir?
It is not easy at all actually, because their system, in fact, their automation and this that is always, because our several FPO, like we have a FPO registered in Cooperative Act. So it normally more than still take, if you do any NEFT RTGS, normally bank take only 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, and here it took around 24 hours.
Oh.
Because they said they are using some others, systems. I don't know what there is, other bridge fast. So it is difficult. And yes, but there are exceptions also in particularly. But most of the cases, the performance and this credit, support to the farmers, basically, it is very, very, poor.
Okay. Just want to know, will they keep any fixed deposit before issuing the loans? Is that prevalent in Madhya Pradesh also? Yogesh,
Sorry, I didn't got your question, please.
in here in down south, the cooperatives keep some money as a fixed deposit before issuing the loans. Is that prevalent in Madhya Pradesh also?
Yeah, there are schemes actually, because but due to several this incident happened in different banks actually. So people have withdrawn their money from these cooperative banks. So currently it is very less, and but we know our small farmers, because we are dealing with the farmers actually. So our farmers, they are not putting money in the bank because they are, in fact, they don't have money to put for the FD. But yes, earlier, urban people, we know, in fact, there are good bank, they offered, higher, FD rate, actually interest rate. But that is also, came down because of scandals happen in different banks in Maharashtra and other places.
Okay. I'm going to another important topic for this discussion. In agri sector, there are percentage of women employees are more than the men. But we don't see many women farmers or women farmers taking on rent and all things. I think, there must be some special schemes for this empowerment of women. Or FPOs try for those things, or FPOs adopt these innovative methods in this regard. As lenders have special schemes for the woman empowerment outside the agri domain also. I'd like to call Mr. Narasimha Reddy. I know he has done a lot of benefits for Kattangaru women farmers. He has done, he's been very focused on that particular thing. Sir, can you say some few words about it?
actually women empowerment for example, FPO is there, 33% of women must be enrolled in the membership. That is there. If the board is also reservation will be 33% is required, or at least out of 10, 2 to 3 people women directors also elect from the body. This is one aspect. Another aspect, women empowerment. Actually, in agriculture field, women is the more than 50% of agriculture work is taken up by the women also only. For example, plantation to up to harvesting and sowing to last end work. This actually women empowerment, women laboring is more than comparing to men. For the empowerment side, last 10 years, some exposing and imposing of the women empowerment is going on nowadays. It's a well and good, but it's not sufficient. So more empowerment is required. Like NREJ scheme is there. That is the 50% of women is going on the women employment. They are getting employment in that. Remaining other aspects in agriculture fields, women empowerment is there, but they are not getting the wages at par with men. That is one of the defect. So the people, the women people is not getting the proper wages compared to men, and also they are not bargaining the management side. They are defeating that side of impact is going on. Anyway, the loss is there. Women at par with men wages is loss is there, but not at implementing. So more focus on that women empowerment.
Dr. Erod, I mean, can you throw some light on the women empowerment in the Tamil Nadu FPOs? Dr. Vadivel. Dr. Vadivel?
Yes, please, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, there are special schemes announced by the government, but not under agriculture domain, sir.
Yeah.
So 1,000 rupees per month for every family woman, and then 1,000 rupees for invalid people. So that way, there are several programs are being run by the state government to support the women folk, but there is no specific program to support women, particularly in agriculture.
What is that? The Gokul scheme is there. 50 dairy farms you can open for women. Mr. Narasimha Reddy is pursuing that. The government of India will give 4 crore rupees for you.
For NLM scheme.
NLM scheme. That is with the Ministry of Animal Husbandry. In fact, we are trying for that particular thing also. 50 women empowerment dairy farms you can open in your FPO region. Okay. So let me ask, Nand has raised this and something.
Bhaskar, I was privately chatting up with him. So he, in fact, good that you called him out. So he is very keen to speak. So go ahead.
What exactly you want to say?
Already typed some message for me.
Minutes.
Nandakumar of Grama Bharati.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Namaskar. I am from Grama Bharati Natural Farmers Producers Company.
I know them very well. I gave speeches there. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So just one point I wanted to raise, about the tenant farmers and the finances that they get, the loans that they get. One is to a very large extent, the banking sector doesn't even recognize them per se for loans and other things. But even some of the schemes that the government is providing, like Raitu Bandhu and those things, they are directed to the owners. Like, for example, somebody owns 100 acres of land. So whether it's cultivated or no, he gets the money. Okay. But somebody takes 20 acres of land from that and does the cultivation, which is actually the activity required. He is the one who should be able to get. Like, for example, the same thing, if we look at the industry.
No. What is your question?
I'll just take half a minute.
Yeah.
I'll just take half a minute. If you look at the industry, if somebody taking is a factory on rent and doing it, the guy who is taking the factory on rent gets the depreciation, not the owner. Okay, but when it comes to farming, I think that kind of a policy need to be brought in, where the tenant, the actual guy who is doing farming, has to get the benefit, and not somebody who is just the owner of the land.
Sir, Pravesh Sharma,
This is one
this
side.
tenant farmers is the biggest issue. I think it is a troublesome issue for most of the farmers in India. Can you address this, sir? Only you are the best man to address this. Mr. Pravesh Sharma?
We've asked Pravesh had to step out.
Okay. In that case,
Maybe somebody else can. Somebody else.
I think all of them are answered this particular question. We will come back to you, Mr. Nand. I think this is a problem. All of us
I mean,
can't answer.
Bhaskar.
No, I agree. I got your
It's
point.
just a
But
point.
yeah,
it's just a point
this is a policy change which has to be done. I mean, we can't do anything about it. I mean, this is a huge issue in the entire agri domain. Though people say nobody knows how many tenant farmers are there, people say 25%. In fact, government of India doesn't know how many farmers India has. And that is a pitiable situation. Anyway, let's leave that particular thing. Let me go on to the FPO section. So I've completed my questions on farmer loan issues and other things. So let me move on to. Let me ask you one question to Manjunath. Manjunath, sir, do you feel the KCC is an advantage in your area, Kisan Credit Card? People issue the Kisan Credit Card in that area, and will the farmers take benefit out of it?
Yeah. Some people are using, but it is not a good advertisement is there about Kisan credit card. Banks are that is advertisement is very less.
Yeah, in fact, the bank crop loans, along with the crop loan, they should give the Kisan credit card also. I don't think banks normally do that. So people don't take the Bank of Baroda card also. I mean, Bank of Baroda must be very number of branches in Karnataka. Will they not opt for it?
They are not opt for it. Not much awareness is there for the farmers.
Okay, okay, let me move on to the FPO section of the questions. I mean, we have covered most of the crop level thing. So, the FPO, FPOs has bigger problems. So, our FPOs, my question is, many FPOs expect money to come just like that, and out of the blue, they need the money and they expect the money to be given. Our FPOs studying, understanding the laws, they know about the schemes, they know about the subsidies. FPO falls into 1956 Company Industrial Act policy, they can approach any bank for any kind of a loan. Banks need to give them a priority loan. How exactly FPOs think that loan factor to be given? Let me ask this question to Dr. Vadivel. Sir, you are the man for me in this particular thing.
Okay. One sec, Mr.
Dr. Vadivel.
Bhaskar, we are short of time, so we'll have to just move a little faster.
I know. Two questions.
Okay.
2 questions more.
No, but then we have to summarize. Ashutosh will summarize. So
Leave it to me. I'll handle it.
Few
Dr.
things.
Vadivel.
One, sir. Now, the juvenile FEOs and matured FEOs, there are two categories. Invariably, 10% is the initial profit out of a pilot project to begin with. But the private financial institutions, they thrust money and put them into their working capital, but they are unable to pay the principal. So that way, some kind of deterioration is going on. Unless the FPO is matured enough, then going for loan is unadvisable. Then second, many banks, they insist on turnover, but not the net worth. The turnover may be 2 crores, but if it runs into loss, then they don't bother. They look for turnover.
That is the Indian financial system mistake, not the agriculture bank mistake.
A company with a 2 crore worth land and assets, they are denied of loan because of turnover. Say aggregation and marketing, the turnover may be big. Value addition marketing, the turnover will be less. And second point, if one of the director is having a personal loan, then the FPO is denied loan. That is one thing. Then the auditors normally do the post-mortem, that is by way of balance sheet and profit and loss statement at the end of the year. It is of no use. So auditor should give every month or every quarter the tentative balance sheet and profit and loss statement, so that its interaction be continuous, the money will be better managed. Else, whatever may the loan they have taken, they are unable to repay. Then debentures is one another area the FPOs can make money. That is method and credit assistance by the method and capital assistance by NAPKISAN. It is by and large every FPO in Tamil Nadu is availing for 4%. So the FPO will have to issue only the debentures. And then the FPO ecosystem, it is going to be like undertaking cultivation in hundreds of acres on its own. Towards that, FPO ecosystem is moving. So the financial institutions, the government should think of financing such a future ecosystem where FPO is undertaking direct cultivation with the market-linked production systems. That's all. That is my point.
Yeah. So, Mr. Narasimha Reddy, what do you feel about this finance to FPOs? I mean, are people are adhering to the entire laws and schemes and approaching the banks, or just blindly approaching the banks? You have 46 FPOs under your control. How exactly the same?
Actually, FPOs are going to the main work is inputs will be supplied, products will be valuation. If valuation is going on, there is a lot of money, capital is more required. The government has given to with all supports like agri infrastructure fund. They are allowing to up to 2 crores basing on their infrastructure project. So that 2 crores is given to the bankers. They are not coming forward to implement the agri infrastructure fund. Some of the bankers, they don't about the agri infrastructure. The government has launched a big way, but the implementation is very poor. And also FPO's capacity is also like the management skills and business skills and valuation skills is less is there. But thing is, if for example our FPO is going on to the valuation, we required 5 crores, minimum 5 crores is required. The agri infrastructure fund is giving only 2 crores. Remaining 3 crores where
that is the policy, sir. That is the policy they have to change.
Yes.
I'm talking about the existing business plans now.
No, business is there. Our business is required 5 crores. The government policy is 2 crores. Lack of 3 crores.
Vilasji, only 1 second, sir. I need to ask this question to you. Go ahead, sir.
So that is the problem is there. Our request is Government of India and bankers, RBI, they go for the agri infrastructure up to 5 crores for the FPOs. Then the working capital, the infrastructure they can provide remaining extra amounts. They can go for the business. They can go to the valuation. They may get the good to the farmer.
Okay, sir. Vilasji, on this particular FPO loans, you people take any FPO loans? I mean, or otherwise, you advise people to take FPO loans with a proper business plan, things. Some light on it, sir. Vilasji, you're there? Okay.
Vilasji has left. He had to go for another meeting. So he just sent a message saying that he's left.
Lakshminarayan, can you say something about it? I mean, do FPOs have business plans to approach the bank, or they think banks has to give them without any kind of a business plan and things? I mean, how exactly the scenario? I mean, I feel most of the FPOs are not aware of it, that they have to do a lot of work before getting the loan.
So we should have the business plan in the place, and that business plan and FPO, the financials and books should be clean to approach the banks. But the thing is, even after approaching the banks doesn't have the products for farmer producer companies to offer. That is what the reality now. Only MBFCs are providing and NAB Kisan and NABARD is providing. I think there is no banks, very minimal banks are coming forward, that too with the collateral securities from the directors.
SBI is there. Huh?
SBI is not giving any farmer producer company loans. Matter of fact, our bank is SBI, but we haven't taken any penny from SBI from past 5 years, and they're not offering.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Manjunath, have you approached any bank for any of these FPO loans?
Yeah, I have approached SBM actually. In fact, my bank is SBM. But my company started only 2 years back. They asked for the 3 years balance sheet.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't get.
Okay.
So after 1 year, they will say like they don't have the product ready for farmer producer companies, sir.
Okay.
With 3 years balance sheet, that is the word we'll hear. Even I heard after 4 years balance sheets.
Okay. Let me end this conversation, Mr. Divejiti. I think, sir, can you throw some light on the banking loans to FPOs? Is it easy or is it tough?
So loan is always tough for the people who don't have capital actually, who are not, resourceful actually. So it is always difficult for the people, for the organizations who are not resource rich actually. So that is the things. If you have capital base, if you have, your own capital, as Mr. Vilas Rao said, if you have 1 crore in your account, you can get loan of 10 crore very easily. But it is not the case in the FPO because their capital is 2 lakh, 3 lakhs, and from 2 lakh, 3 lakh, or 4 lakhs, you can't expect either you have to put some fixed capital in the collateral, or so that is the problem. But same time, currently, what since government is pushing it, and there are always pressure on the bank also. So what they currently look, they see the balance sheet of the FPO. Your balance sheet is good actually if it is a positive figure for in last 2 years. And if you are in the profit side, as well as you have your business plan. Business plan actually, it is not with the basically P&L account, and what are you going to do from the money that you are looking for actually, so that 3 years your projection. And so it is not easy, but finally FPO, in fact, in our cases, we have around 45 FPOs who are old actually, they are getting loan, they are able to get the loan for the bank. But the new FPOs who are mostly belong, so that is for the difficult for them. But so their condition is that I said you have to 2 year balance sheet with the positive, and but yes, it is some progress has been made actually. We can't say nothing is happening, but still lots need to be done. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for each and every one of you. Have you people have any other things to ask? 1 minute we have. Anybody wants to ask anything or any policy changes they want to talk?
You can put your hands up. Yeah.
Yeah. So with this, we conclude this workshop session, and